Beginning of my video. Boom!
Welcome back to Boring Reviews.
Boring land.
Oh, just kidding.
Blasphemer!
Hello,
right.
Boring Review Nation!
Kind of pointless.
We know all things. It was over in a snap.
We really want it. Alright, we'll be nice.
Only you can be a Patreon. You don't need to follow the show to be hyped.
All right, welcome back to Boring Reviews. Nick here, and I am bringing you another review. How awesome is that? If you checked out my test review, then here's another one just the next day or a few days later. So today I am excited to review a movie called Secret Superstar. Now, this is a movie that stars Aamir Khan. Enough said, right? Go ahead and end the review right now. No, I'm just kidding. This is a movie that stars Aamir Khan, but in a very small role. I feel like he has a bigger role behind the camera. He produces this movie, and it seems like it has a lot of his heart in this movie. If you're new to Boring Reviews, how you doing? My name is Nick, and we give you our thoughts about Indian content and American content, and we love talking about movies. Absolutely love talking about it. If you're new, then go ahead and check out this review, obviously. Wait till the end. I'll give you my grade on this movie. And if you like what you see, if you like what you hear, go ahead and subscribe at any time, and we would appreciate it. Go ahead and comment and like the video as well if you like it, and check out other stuff that we have. Also, we have another channel called Cricket for Americans. If you're a cricket fan, it's a brand new channel, so not a lot of videos on there, but there are some cricket videos on there as well. So, let's talk about Secret Superstar. Like I said, Aamir Khan is in this film, but periodically. This film really belongs to Zaira Wasim. Now, Zaira Wasim is a young actress. She was in Dangal with Aamir Khan, I think a year before this. This movie came out a year after, in 2017. She was in Dangal. She played his daughter, and she is a fierce actress. I mean, she has no problem commanding the stage, so to speak, commanding the scene, speaking her mind. When she speaks, it's almost as if she's 25 or 30 years old. She's way above her years, and she has a great job in this film. This movie is such a different type of movie. I don't know where to start talking about, because on one hand, the main premise of this show is a girl has a dream of being a singer. She comes from a lower class family. Her father is a complete jerk. He wanted to have a son. He did not want to have a daughter. His first child was a daughter. Told his wife, let's get rid of her. Point blank. And he doesn't ever really come around to her. Never. He's not a very happy guy. He doesn't treat his wife with any respect. He beats her. He belittles her. She's not educated. She's illiterate. And he lets her pay for that. And so this movie is about a girl reaching her dreams, but it's also a domestic violence type movie where you get a whole lot of that, to the point where it makes it uncomfortable in some degrees. And I'm okay with that, because as a fan of movies, I like movies that give me that realism. I like movies that ground it in reality. And even though this is not my reality, thank goodness, I knock on wood, I never had to deal with that with my parents or with my kids. But this character has to deal with that. And Aamir Khan's not afraid to bring that kind of story to us. The most surprising thing about this movie is how profitable it was. Not that was surprising because it's bad, but it was just so stinking profitable. This movie made $154 million on a $2 million budget US. So it made a 6,000% return on investment. 6,000. Think about that. Think about you're an investor and you have $2 million to your name and you invest in a Aamir Khan film, and you're going to get $150 million back. You got to be kidding me. I mean, that's amazing. So this film was just, it was a dark horse. This movie was a sleeper hit. This movie was, I can't imagine, expected to do great things, even though it had Aamir Khan, and even though Zaira Wasim was coming off of Dangal. It also has other great actresses like Mahir Vij. She plays the mother, and I already mentioned Zaira. Mahir Vij, she's fantastic. She plays the mom, like I said, illiterate. She's a battered wife of her husband, but her story is so powerful because all she cares about is her kids. She has a son as well, a younger boy. but she cares about her daughter so much and loves her daughter so much because she knows that her husband doesn't, at least in my opinion. And so she has to make that up for them. She can't provide her kids with too much. She's not educated too well. She can't read. She probably can't help with their homework too much. But what she can do is push them and inspire them and try to get them excited about life, even though she has a really tough plate, a tough life to deal with. But she does it with such a smile on her face. And it's very interesting because the characters are crafted very well in this show. Zaira's character, I forget the character's name. Let me look it up real quick. Zaira's character, Insia, that's right. Insia, who they say means woman in their dialect or in their language. Insia is a very non-soft-spoken little girl. And she belittles her mom to the point where she gets mad at her. She yells at her. She doesn't beat her or make fun of her. Well, she does. She calls her stupid, so she does make fun of her. But she is a lot like her dad, who she can't stand, who's very aggressive and very rude. Now, he's very abusive, and that's not what Insia's character is. But with her friendships and her relationships, like with her mom and her friends and whatnot, she is that abrasive as well. And so you don't see that too many times where, unless they mention it and it's a big, huge plot point, they don't ever mention how she's so much like her father, but it's very apparent. And that is real life. Your kids are going to pick up a lot of qualities of you as a parent, believe it or not. I see my kids who have picked up some of my really bad qualities, and I just kick myself for that. They pick up some good qualities too, but they pick up the bad qualities. And so you got to be careful what you do around your kids because they're going to pick up on it inherently and through the nourishment of just the way you raise them. And I thought it was really clever how they put that in her character, but they never made that a plot point. That was just part of her character. So getting back to the mother and daughter, their relationship is the strongest part of this movie. It is 100%. You take that relationship out, and it's an okay movie. It's a pretty good movie with a good actress, and Aamir Khan's in it here and there, but it's their relationship. And it's so powerful. The mom sacrifices so much to get her daughter a laptop. Probably sacrificed so much to get her guitar, but to get her a laptop. And once she gets her laptop, then the daughter, the premise of the story, daughter gets a laptop, starts a YouTube channel. She wants to start making videos with her songs because she's a songwriter. But she knows that if her dad finds out about the computer, if her dad finds out about the YouTube channel, he's just not going to have it. She wants to do this contest, and she begs her dad, and he says, no, get out of here. And she's neglecting her studies, and so that has a part to play with it. But back to the premise, she starts a YouTube channel. She puts on, I'm not sure if I'm saying it right, the job, and so that you can't see anything beside her eyes. And she starts playing her songs, making her videos on YouTube. She calls the channel Secret Superstar, and it blows up. I mean, it blows up overnight in like 1 or 2 days. She's got hundreds of thousands of views or something like that. Eventually 30 million views on her second video. And when I'm watching that with my little YouTube channel here, I'm like, there's no way. There's no way. I know Mo Diggs, who does the music for our intro, he does fantastic music. It's just, that's just not how it works. But it's a movie, so whatever. I was definitely very, very jealous. She had 2 channels, and she was being talked about on TV. Who's Secret Superstar? Who's Secret Superstar? But she gets to become very popular, and she wants to do some recordings, and she wants to get her mom away from her dad, and she wants to basically support her family at her young age and provide for her mom so her mom can get away. Now, the dad, luckily for them, he works, he travels a lot for work, so he's not home a lot, and he's trying to get this job where he'll be gone for like a year at a time, which they're just jazzed about. But whenever he comes in, he just sours the mood. He destroys the mood. Again, domestic violence all over the place in this movie. It's very hard to watch sometimes. And it's about the struggle. It's about the struggle of the daughter who just gets so frustrated at her mom's situation that she takes out on her mom sometimes. I saw a lot of myself in that. When I get frustrated about a situation, I tend to blame the person I should not blame when I should blame the situation. And so there was a connection I saw there with this character and myself. And eventually we meet Aamir Khan's character. Let's talk about Aamir Khan's character. Aamir Khan's character, he is hilarious. He does a fantastic job of playing this egocentric, almost maniacal, former singing star who's become a music producer, who's also a judge on like American Idol, but in India, who plays a Simon Cowell character. But that's not what the movie's about. It has nothing to do with that. They just show a few clips of that. And he is basically washed up. And there's a part where the mom is talking to the daughter about him. They can't stand him. They're watching the award show, and she's imagining herself winning the award, and that was kind of a cool scene. But the mom is telling the daughter, he used to make these great songs a long time ago, but then he stopped. And the stuff he plays now is almost like a remix of a really good song that he never released. I thought that was a really cool line. And it plays a part later on in the movie. But that's his character. But he's just so into himself, and he's so creepy almost. And he just plays it so well. Because if you know Aamir Khan's roles, he is usually always the hero type, always the lovable guy, Lagan and whatnot, Three Idiots, PK, where you just fall in love with the guy. And in this show, he's so charming he gets away with it. But he plays an annoying character. His name in the show is Shakti Kumar. And he has a small storyline where eventually he meets up with the secret superstar. And he knows who she is. And she says, I don't want any money. I just want to meet a lawyer so that my mom can get away from my dad, blah, blah, blah. And I won't go into that too much. But there's this awesome part where she's in the recording studio singing a song for him that's going to go into a Bollywood movie. And he has this raunchy song where it has like these noises. Oh, yeah. And it's so creepy. And he wants this 15-year-old, 13-year-old girl to sing this song. And he's like, come on, get into breathing. Use your body. It's just so weird. And so eventually she has a conversation. She's like, what if we just strip all that? My mom said that you do remixes of songs that are released that should have been better songs that you don't trust in. And so he sings it the way it's supposed to be sung, changes the lyrics to the original version. And she's like, that's it. That's what we got to do. Let's go record it. And she does, and everyone loves it. And they're all standing up cheering. And, she puts that stamp on that song, and it gets her the job it's in the Bollywood movie, and she's nominated for awards for that performance. Her mom buys the CD of the soundtrack and plays her daughter singing on there, and just awesome. And his character has a nice little arc, but his arc is perfectly complete, not in what some people would call the corny or the cheesy way at the end of the award ceremony where he's championing for India. But his character arc really comes into full circle at the end. You've got to stick around for the credits. He does his first YouTube channel, and he does his version of that remix of that song that she sings with the and he does that. He's got the dancers out here, and it's just that made me laugh so much. I was so glad I didn't turn it off. I just kept watching the credits because that is probably one of the best, if not the best scene in the entire movie. If you've seen the movie and you don't know what I'm talking about, just go to the very end and watch that. It is hilarious. And it's so perfect with that character because his character learned a lot of things, I expect, learn a little more about humanity, but he still is that cheesy, creepy guy who thinks that his music is awesome even though it's really weird. And so that was great. And he really adds a whole lot to this movie. If you take him out, in my opinion, you still have a really good movie. You take out the mom, you don't have a really good movie, in my opinion. You take out his character, we can do with or without. But since he's in there, he just adds it to an extra level. He brings it up to an extra level and makes it great. But I want to get back to Zaira Wasim because she's a powerhouse in this movie. Her performance is fantastic. My hat goes off to her because she is awesome in this. And I don't think that's her singing. Whoever did the dubbing for the voice, the singing, fantastic singing voice. But I also really like the relationship between her and Chintan, her boyfriend, her class chum, who eventually they have a little love connection. It's not too gross or too mushy because they're young. It's very, very sweet and very innocent. But she's such a hard-nosed person. And he's just such a sweet, nice guy who just wants to make her day. And there's a few moments where she'll break down. She'll bring down the walls and she'll say something nice to him or something very sweet to him. And it'll just make his day. The moment where she writes down the password for her YouTube channel on his hand. I mean, you can see what she wrote down before they show it to us. But tell me that was not the sweetest thing that you saw in this movie. Just the smile on his face. That actor did such a great job of playing someone who was just so in love with this classhood or this peer in class, this classmate. and that was fantastic. I love their little story. I love how he played a part and how the director, the screenwriter, they found a part for this character where it wasn't too overbearing, but he definitely had a role in there. It was heartbreaking whenever the dad showed up, with the guitar, what he does there, the laptop, excruciating. The little brother who you see is annoying at certain times, he really redeems himself with a gift. He has his gift, and I thought that was perfect because I have kids and I can see my kids doing something like that, calling it a gift just like that. And it's not ready yet, getting her sister's things to make this gift, and she doesn't understand. That was fantastic. One of the hardest things to watch was when the dad was having the wife get ready for, I think it was a wedding they were going to, and she couldn't find her necklace. She knew where it was, but he didn't. And that whole part was so hard to watch, excruciating, but it was important and integral to this movie. I think it was Arjit again in the comment section that mentioned that this actor's had a hard time getting roles since this role because he's just so hated in this movie. He does such a good job in that role that people think that's how he is in real life. I did find out that actor, Raj Arjun, his daughter is also an actress, so that's really cool. But if you hate Raj Arjun for his role in this movie, get over it. It's just a role. He's obviously a great actor because he makes you hate him. Don't hate him in real life. I'm sure he's a great guy. And I don't know Manali Thakur, but it says right here she plays herself. She was the singer that was tutelaged by Aamir Khan's character, Shakti, and she had a great few moments there. The part that I did not like, that I did not feel like necessary, was the ending with the awards ceremony. I thought that was so over the top, and it involves Manali's character. I don't see any singer, any artist ever doing that like that. For me, I understood where the movie was going. Did I feel it? Yes. It definitely gave me the feels. Was it emotional? Yes. Was it inspiring? Yes. But it was just past the border of super cheesy. And it did take me out a little bit because I'm just like, oh, don't. I liked the girl's response where she's like, no, I don't want that. Let me just talk. And then when she started talking about her mom, that's where the feels came in and the tears came in and the powerful moment came in. Because children, too often, I don't care how old or how young you are, we don't appreciate our parents nearly as much as we should. We see their faults. We don't see all the sacrifices they made. And everyone has faults. And that was such a great scene. That is something that all kids, not just daughters, but sons as well, need to watch. The speech that she gives about her mom and how awesome that is. I loved how tough and how fierce the mom was and how the actor portrayed at the airport where she has the papers, the divorce papers, and she is talking to her husband and she's telling him very matter-of-factly what's going to happen if he doesn't let something else happen. That was powerful. That was the moment where I said, wow, this actress, she's got something. This is a great moment. And that's what this movie is. Several great moments. It doesn't drag on too much. It doesn't slow down too much. It was interesting because they had an extra class. The girls go into an extra class to learn more in this lady's house. And it reminded me of what we're doing right now. We don't have jam classes in our houses, but we're doing it online. But that was a side tidbit. I love this movie. I enjoy this movie very much. For me, typically, I'll watch a movie over 2 or 3 days just because of how my schedule is. I watch this all in one sitting. And I've said that with movies before. If that's the case, that means I just couldn't turn it off. And it also means that I have an awesome wife and awesome kids who let me sit down and watch a movie for that long. But I love this movie. This movie is easily going to get an A. I cannot give it an A+. And it's not the movie's fault for the domestic violence, but that was hard to watch. That was, some of those scenes lasted for quite a while. And it wasn't that it was graphic, but you knew what was going on. You knew what was going to happen when that father got home and he sees the laptop. And that wasn't really expected. But, and because of the award ceremony was a little over cheesy. And, this dad had to be the dumbest dad of all time because he sees the videos constantly. There's only 2 videos from Secret Superstar that we know of. Sees the highlights of those videos on TV constantly. They're trying to change the channel. And she's got the hijab on or it covers her face. But he's got to be the dumbest dad of all time because the room looks exactly the same. I mean, the room looks exactly the same. He knows what his daughter's room looks like, or maybe he's never been there before. Maybe he doesn't care, but I mean, the whole layout. You gotta be kidding me. And the guitar. I mean, it's right there on the wall. You know what the guitar looks like, and this guitar she's playing. So I thought that was interesting, but I mean, not really a big deal. I liked a lot of this movie. I really did. The moments I mentioned were the best moments. Very powerful. Great acting. Great dialogue. Great writing. You get a sense right away of the mother-daughter relationship when she picks her up from her little camp that she went on, and she sees that she's wearing sunglasses, and she calls her stupid, and you know that she doesn't mean it from a hateful place, but I mean, it's crazy. This is a great movie. Solid A from me. I hope you enjoyed my review. I hope you've seen this movie. If you have, let me know what you think about it. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe. I hope I did justice for this movie that I know so many of you love. 6,000% return on investment. Come on. And don't forget to do all the stuff that I asked you to do. Please check out Cricket for Americans. And until next time, adios.